Hello everyone, welcome to Switchcraft, the Fingerboard podcast. My name is Jana, and I'm sitting here with a guest. Would you introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? My name's Evan. My Instagram is ouasfb, and I'm really excited to be on the podcast.
And before we continue, you probably noticed that I don't have a co-host with me today. Julian and I decided that I continue the podcast alone for a while. We'll see if he joins back in again, or we'll just see how it turns out. So it's just going to be me for a while, and I'm going to be focusing on interviews like we did the past few episodes. So let's jump right in. Like, first of all, I'm glad that you introduced yourself. It was a strategical choice of mine because up until today, I wasn't sure how to pronounce your name.
No, I get a lot of different.
It was like Aus. Yeah, but I watched your question, your Q&A on YouTube, and then I realized, it's Aus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an acronym, but there's only a few people that know what it's an acronym for. Maybe one day I'll tell everybody, but
okay. So, I mean, I think I was quite sure that the second acronym you gave wasn't the correct one.
Every time someone asks me, I give them a different response. So.
Okay, because the first one actually sounded quite legit, and the second one was like, is he just doing that because it's been 2 times in the same video, or is it a thing?
Maybe that is the real thing. Who knows?
I mean, from now on, I'm gonna stick with octopus, unicorn, alligator, snakes. That's the
best one.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. Definitely. So, let's start with a few of the basics. So you're from the US.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's noticeable.
My accent.
No, and like how Europeans sound when they speak English, like how I sound. When did you get into fingerboarding? Like how old were you, or how old are you now? Like,
I feel like when we ask fingerboarders when they get into fingerboarding, everyone kind of starts the same with tech decks. Yeah. And so it's like tech decks 6 or 7, but like fingerboarding, taking it seriously, I think around 2012, 2013. 2013 is when I got my first real, it was Berlin wood, Black River trucks, Winkler wheels. It was a 29 millimeter, that was like so wide back in the day, because when I started it was like 26, and you were like 29, and now I ride a 32, and some of my friends ride like 34, 36. But I got my first professional setup about 7 years ago, and I mean I've been fingerboarding pretty much ever since.
Nice. Yeah, I think depending on what age you are and where you're from, the answers vary a bit, because I mean it's tech deck for most of us, but I feel like in each age group there's a sort of a hype for fingerboarding. Mm-hmm. And when I was 13, fingerboarding was as huge as it probably never was again in Germany. Like every skate shop had a Black River Park in there. Even sports stores had Black River Parks.
Oh wow!
And you saw it all the time, and that's how most got introduced.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I picked it up in a skate shop as well, but there wasn't a Black River Park local to me, but it was in many cities. But
gotcha.
So do you remember when you realized that there's people actually doing tricks on that, or did you just figure it out and then hopped on YouTube and searched for stuff? Or
when I had the tech decks, I thought they were just models. I didn't realize that people actually rode them with their fingers. And then I had a friend who started messing around with it with his fingers. I was like so confused. I didn't because it was such a it's kind of a foreign concept still to people who've never seen it before. Like
Yeah,
how do you do that, you know? And
yeah,
so, but I mean, I ever since then was like I was like I need to at least learn how to ollie, and that took the longest. But after that, like
yeah.
yeah, I just had like I had to know how to do all the tricks. Like it
I
was
I can't even remember when I learned how to ollie. Like I knew that there's been a long time where I just wrote transitions. Like even when I
mhm,
was doing it, like when I went to every Fast Fingers and was like at every contest that was reasonably close to me. But even still, like I was much more comfortable in transitions and I could ollie in flat, but I didn't bother learning how to kickflip in flat and could
mhm.
do a lot of stuff in vert. But yeah, but like really doing learning the ollie on flat, like so that you can do it in your sleep, probably after I came back to fingerboarding. Like,
Yeah, it takes a
yeah,
it's I mean, I think that for most people I think most people would say that it takes the longest to learn, you know,
yeah,
like it could take you a couple months to learn ollie and like a day to learn a kickflip, you know, because it's like you
yeah,
just have to learn how to time that jump, and then
yeah.
once you get that, that's the fundamental for every trick that you pop. So
I
yeah,
think
I
the fastest I've seen someone learn an ollie was a day, but
really
yeah, but she like she was at a store, and I think it was the weekend of Aussie number 10 contest,
okay.
but like there were a bunch of people and like I feel like if you have someone with you to teach you, like at least to get into it, it takes a lot of like time away from the process. But that was like the absolutely fastest thing I think that's even possible. Like
Yeah,
one
no,
day
I
it's
that's crazy.
yeah,
I wish I had the advice like you'll see like people are like, oh, just like learn it like this way or like put it against a wall or on your leg
yeah,
just to kind of help assist
yeah,
that tip back and you can learn. Like if I knew that, that would have been so much more helpful because I thought I was like, I just have to learn it this way. I mean, I could ollie on a skateboard before I could ollie on a fingerboard. Like I just could not
yeah,
figure it out.
yeah. I think that was the same for me. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like what how we always explain it at the shop is like ride basically fakie and
Hmm.
ride towards the edge of a table and try to let your tail wrap around the edge of the table
Okay.
and then slowly get from completely tilting to not tilting at all. And
Gotcha. Okay.
because that helps you with the timing of the pop and the basically the scoop upwards.
Yeah, no, wow,
Yeah,
I never thought of it that way, but that's
yeah,
really helpful. Yeah,
yeah.
because
But
I have like friends that know I fingerboard, and so they'll see like the parks or whatever and
mm,
pick it up, but they're like, how do you do that?
yeah,
You know, and I always try to give them advice, but I mean, like you do need a pretty large attention span to like you have to commit to it if you want to
yeah,
learn how to. So, and I
yes,
don't think most people are interested in
yeah.
committing that much time. So,
Yeah, and
but yeah.
I think it's a hobby that like at the beginning it's much less fun, but
Mhm.
once you land your first trick, it can be quite rewarding.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
definitely. I agree.
it can be quite frustrating as well, but
Yeah.
but
That's
that's
that's with a
part.
lot of things. So
Yeah,
that would definitely be the one that took the longest though.
yeah.
So,
So so you started around 7 years ago.
mhm.
Um, uh, what and you started with a Berlin wood. What is your favorite, or what is your setup like now?
Um, I
If we
actually
come from 29 Berlin wood.
it's upstairs I think right now, but yeah, we had an event this weekend. So like we've just been going all over the place and I don't even think I know where it is right now, but I'll find it. So yeah, right now I'm riding 32.5 nesting unique deck, the
Ah,
Sunrise Cascadia deck. That I mean that's probably one of my favorite graphics I've seen in a while. Like when I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm making the switch. Because before then I rode Berlin Wood up until about 3 months ago. Like I really
okay.
did. I loved Berlin Wood, and I still do. But when I saw this graphic, I needed to have it.
When did
So
you get your last Berlin wood?
I had a Berlin wood I got in 2018,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
I rode that up until the beginning of this year, and then I lost it. Like
Mm.
I had a Fing sling, and it fell out, and I don't know where it is. I'm really bummed about that. So then I was riding just kind of like spare parts for a little bit, and then I bought my unique deck, and then with that I ride. Dynamic trucks, and then the flat face. I think they're the G4 wheels. They're like the
Mm.
plastic white ones. I'm almost exclusively riding on like Black River ramps and like wooden parks. I
Mm.
really like plastic wheels. But
Yeah.
like if I ever do build like a granite park or something like that, I would want to get something urethane just because it is a bit more grippy. But
Yeah, I basically switch from surface to surface. Like I
mhm,
pretty much always have a setup with plastic wheels and one with urethane or other materials. But
mhm.
I have way too many setups, so that's not really a problem.
Yeah, no, I tell people like I have so few fingerboard accessories, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Like right now I have two setups, which I'm grateful for. I have a Lakewood with Black River trucks on it, but then even
Yeah, I
that, like
think I saw the video for that
yeah.
one.
But even the wheels for that were dual duros. That's two of them slipped, so it's like they're just
Mm.
like broken wheels. And then I do have a 55 millimeter deck as well, but that's not like a
Yeah, that's not like a
daily.
everyday setup.
But yeah, and then recently I've been getting more into collecting decks. Annie Ann just sent
Mm.
me three that she made like the graphics for. That was awesome. And then I have some other stuff. I bought a Berlinwood at the event I was at yesterday, so I'm slowly building that collection, but I
Mm.
don't know. I've been way more into the ramp collecting and stuff like that, so I don't have a ton of pieces, but
Yeah, back then I used to like build and collect RAMs much more, but like I think it's because I'm so close to the Ozzy Berlin shop. Like I have a park at home, and except for that, I don't really need any ramps. Like
yeah.
I do have a few like concrete obstacles, like benches,
Hmm.
many pads, curbs, stuff like that, that I like put on my desk while working, and like, if I'm waiting for something, I do a quick trick in between. But other than that, I don't really have ramps at home.
Yeah, I what to like piggyback off of what you said, the like pretty much every spot that I spend time in my house, like at my desk or like on the couch or down
Mm.
here, everything has at least one fingerboard thing, whether it's a ledge or a rail or something. Just because it's like I always have my fingerboard on me, and I'm always like, it's like a release, It's like when
Yeah.
someone smokes a cigarette. Like it's like I just need to like real quick get like a tail slide, kick flip out, and then I just need my fix, like. So I thought that was funny that you said that.
I mean, for me, it's a bit similar. Like I have fingerboards at pretty much every part of my flat. Like I
Mhm.
have a few setups at my park. I have some in my like daily backpack. I have some at my desk. And I usually have one around the living room table. Yeah,
Hmm. Just like everywhere you go, you just can
yeah,
get up real quick, and
yeah,
yeah, it's so nice too. It's just you're never bored as long as you have your fingerboard.
yeah,
You always have something to do. So
yeah. Yeah, I just love it as a hobby. Like the only downside is that it can get noisy from time to time.
yeah, that's true.
But other than that, and people looking at you weird, like,
It used to drive my brother crazy back when I lived back with my parents, like when I was
mhm.
younger. He used to make comments about how it's loud, but it's also like it's annoying.
Yeah, because it's
That little
repetitive.
yeah, like usually I'll have headphones in. I don't even hear it, right?
Yeah,
But for someone who's not super into it, it's annoying. They're like, why are you doing that? But I have a whole basement now that I can kind of room free and nobody complains. So
that's
uh,
definitely a cool thing to have.
yeah, for the time being, I won't annoy anyone, but
Yeah.
that can change.
Except for yourself when you don't land a trick or something like that.
Oh my gosh. I don't typically battle tricks. Like usually I'll give it like 10 tries and then I'm like, okay, I'm
Okay.
not. But like when I filmed a part like 2 months ago and I battled my ender for
The
45 minutes
casual
straight.
encounters or
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. That ender, the big heel tail 270 kickflip out.
Hmm.
I was trying just for the part I wanted to do a big heel lip and then just land it like just as a trick. And then the first try, I landed tail, and I was like, oh, that's really easy. If I pop 270 kickflip out, that's my ender. Perfect. It looks really hard, but I think I can get it. Nope. 45 minutes. I was genuinely at the end of that clip, like I like put my head down on the table. I was just exhausted. That was the first day I filmed over 2 days. That was the first day of filming. That ended
Oh,
the session. I was done.
yeah, I can
I was
imagine.
yeah, I was like, no, thank you. And then it was the same. I did the blunt kickflip nose blunt on
Mm,
that on the rail.
yeah, the
That one took
over.
yeah, that one took about 20 minutes. Just because it's like you have to lock in with your like back truck on it perfectly, get the flip, and then like aim it. There's just so much that goes into it that like I
Mm.
just like I don't think I'll ever do that trick again.
Yeah, with
I do that on ledges. Sorry, I do that on ledges all the time, but on a rail for whatever reason just took so long.
yeah,
So
on those kinds of tricks, it's usually the easiest part is the hardest part. Like getting into it perfectly so that you can still flip out or a stable. Like it doesn't matter if it's like a manual or like there's some tricks when you don't log in perfectly after an ollie, you can throw away the try and try again over.
yeah, no, exactly. Like it has to be clean. Plus, we all have the standards for ourselves, you know. Like we
Yeah.
just, I'm like a little bit more liberal with what I will accept as like if my finger dangles over the edge or whatever, but like it was a
Mm,
trick, I keep it in. Like I'm not. I know some dudes that like they have to. It has to be. They have to catch it front finger perfectly, land it with like the bent fingers, and like if their fingers are too straight, they like I've never gotten into that because
yeah,
that's
if,
just.
like here in Berlin, I'm probably one of the most more casual when it comes to that. Like
Mhm.
basically all of my friends are super picky when it comes to landing stuff.
Yeah.
Like in a game of skates, I'm like very much used to them saying, "Nah, that doesn't count." I'm like, "Okay, fine,
That's always
I
yeah.
get it."
Like I'll land the trick and I'll be like, okay, cool, I land it, and then I'll look up and they're like, do you want to retry that? I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I,
We did
uh,
you take that, and
when
then it's like, no.
if I ever make it out to Germany, we'll play a game of skate and it'll just be the sloppiest game. Everything counts. That'll be fun. Because yeah, I I lost. I played a game of skate yesterday that I lost because of that. It was just like I landed some of the tricks, but I was just like my
Mm,
finger was dragging. Like it just that it doesn't
yeah,
count. Like I'm not trying to justify it, but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, in like most game of skates, it's just about the fun. And like me and my friends, we've played each other like thousands of times in game of skate. So first, it's not at all about winning. And if one of us feels like the trick was or wasn't, then that's just how it is.
Mhm.
And we basically don't argue. Like it's more like, you take that? Ah, okay, you're right. And I think as long as it's not like a oh no, that one wasn't, and you're wrong, and like as long as you don't get into an argument over it, I think it's fine. But yeah, on I've seen way too many contests where people landed like that, and I think in a contest game of skate, you should have higher standards than in a
Yeah,
casual game of skate.
absolutely. Yeah, I've noticed the same too. The other thing with games of skate is I like to try to keep them fun. Like if I'm playing with somebody who's like more of a novice or like a beginner, and I'm realizing like they can't do like crazy tricks, I'll try to do like easier tricks. But then like at the same
Same.
time, I can do a switch flip and sometimes a switch tray, and that's it. Like I can't skate nollie, I can't skate switch. So sometimes I'll be playing games of skate, and the dudes will be like, switch tray, switch hard flip, switch varial here. I'm like, dude, so you get me out in
Mm,
5 moves, and it's like, okay, cool, you won, but it's like that wasn't a fun game. So like
mm,
I played Nico Frank once at Rendezvous 29, and he is one of, if not the best fingerboarder ever. But I still got him to T, right? Because he recognized my skill level and then toned his tricks down so we could have a fun game. You know, and once I got him to T, he, pulled out some crazy trick, and but like,
I mean, I basically do the same.
yeah, it's like if he knew he could win, but it's like that's not fun. Like you can't just like play every single game of skate, your 5 stock tricks, and then I don't know. It's just not as fun. So I kind of feel like that was a lesson that he taught me, and I've really applied that to like other areas, like when I play my games of skate. So
yeah, I usually do like when I'm in a similar position, I start with like a nollie flip somewhere in there, and then when I recognize that the other person doesn't do nollie, then I'm like, okay, no more nollie switch, and let's continue from there. And for last letter, I try to always challenge myself, like especially when it's against my friends who I played hundreds of times. Like I have 2 tricks unlocked that for most people are quite challenging in a game of skate, like with obstacles. But like it's 360 pop shove at nose grind and hard flip back tail. I can basically do both anywhere, anytime. And to end a game of skate like that is more like, okay, let's get it over with. But it's not like, oh yeah, such a cool trick. It was like, okay, let's get it done. But like usually I try to do something that's much harder for me, like do like a 540 pop shove at nose grind, which I know if I land it, it's going to win the game as well, but it's much more challenging to me. Like it's not like I can do that every day.
Yeah, I do that for sure. It depends on the opponent. Some like if I'm if we're like T to T or something, I'll do something because I want to finish it honorably. Because like I can do
Exactly.
ollie late shove it every time, and that's not a hard trick. But if you've never done it before, there's a learning curve to it. So I know like if I'm ever losing in a game, I pull that out real quick just to get a letter. And it's like I could end the game with that, but I know I can land that. And it's like what you said, like try to challenge yourself and be more honorable about it. But if I'm playing someone who I have more letters than, or they have more letters than I do, I like to do tricks that I like that are challenging, but I think that they can land, just to kind of keep it more interesting. So it really just depends on the game and the opponent, but games of skate they're fun.
Yeah.
And I don't do you prefer to I like doing them on obstacles. I don't really like doing flat ground. What are your opinions on?
Like a flat ground game of skate is usually my first thing when I go to the shop. Like it's basically my warm up, and after that I pretty much exclusively play full power game of skates. But or obstacles.
I'm with being a lefty, I can't usually do full part games of skate, which is a bummer because I when I'm with my left, like I played a game yesterday at the event with there was 4 of us and we played full park lefty, and it was
cool.
Like that was the first time I'd ever done that, and that was awesome. But sometimes like they'll have like an obstacle that's like what's the word? Like symmetrical or oh my god, like you can hit it from both sides. And it's the same. So like I played my buddy in a game of skate yesterday like that, and like so I can't typically do full park games of skate, but that's how I prefer to do it. I like doing it on like obstacles and ramps and stuff like that.
At the shop we have like one park where it's no problem at all, like the simple spot with like just a mani pad and the other thing that works for either left or right. But we also have another park where it's mostly symmetrical, and we usually be like, okay, let's avoid this one obstacle that isn't symmetrical, and everything else everyone can hit.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, it's just different, and it's a little bit more fun to throw in different obstacles. And also I only know like 10 flat ground tricks. Eventually I'm like, big spin, fakey big spin, like that kind of stuff.
But I mean, I learned quite a few, or had quite a few flat ground game skates where landed stuff for the first time. So
Really?
yeah, like my first nollie heel, I landed in a game skate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes with the pressure on, you get
yeah,
like they're focused and you can just um unlock the code
yeah.
and
Yeah,
get it.
same
But
with nollie tray backside board slide. That was also the first time in a game skate that I got it onto an obstacle because I was learning nollie trays at that time and
mhm,
couldn't get them high enough or like controlled enough, and it was the first time I was able to do it onto something.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is always fun, like learning tricks or like having your opponent kind of help you, like they get a trick that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Or
Um,
looking at stuff from a different angle. Like a lot of times when I play against people and they pull out shit that I've never seen before,
mm,
especially if it's on a park that I've played like countless times,
yeah.
then it's much more fun to play against someone like that than against someone who does like kickflip backtail on every obstacle in the park.
Yeah. That is, it's funny you said that. I have done pretty much every regular flip variation in every grind. Like over the course, I've
Mm.
landed three kickflip backtails. I cannot figure it out. It's been years. I cannot figure out how to kickflip backtail.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not great at them. Like I do land them from time to time, but uh, yeah, like varial flip backside no slide, which is the same flip rotation.
mhm.
That one I can land like in let's say 5 tries, and kickflip backtail probably north of 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's yeah. Yeah.
But to get back to Game of Skate, I see your Game of Skate counter in the background. Yeah, it's such a cool thing. Like, did you
I
build it yourself or?
mhm. I I was looking for a project to do over like during the quarantine when we had to stay home, and I had like I all what I wanted to do was like one of the flip down ones like they sell on the Black River ramps
Mhm.
website, and I was looking into it and I was like, this it didn't seem like challenging enough. Like I would have made it and I would have wanted to make it as nice as I could, but like I had always had this idea in the back of my mind, but I didn't know how to handle the lights because I thought I was gonna have to do like a socket with a light bulb in it, and it was gonna have to be like humongous. And then I thought
Mhm.
maybe I could get smaller ones, but then with um, like direct current and alternating current and all that stuff, like I just was like, I don't want to have it plugged into a wall, but then the smaller one. So I ended up just finding they sell like these strips of LEDs that are like this long with the
Mhm.
two wires on the end. And so I did that, and I've always been into like I know a decent enough amount about like electrical and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So I was able to just like figure out the schematic to wire it up and get it on the switches. But the I feel like I'm kind of jumping all over the place.
No, no, no.
The real kicker for what I decided I was gonna like when I decided I was gonna do it was when I saw the switches. I found like a 10 pack of those switches for like $20, and I was like, those look really cool, so I'm gonna do it. But
Those do look
yeah,
cool.
it's nice. I haven't had a ton of opportunity to use it. I usually just use it on my channel for like when I play games of skate. I cut
Mhm.
away to that flipping, but I think that like I'll start taking it to events or like when I have people over to fingerboard, like using that more because
Yeah.
it's useful. Because I mean, like I was playing skate yesterday with people and they're like, I was totally sure they were on T and they're like, no, I'm on A, and it's like this is why we need a counter, you know?
Yeah, I always say to people if we have the opportunity to play with counter, because I'm the one who forgets every letter. Like I'm the one who's like, am I on T or S or like I don't remember anything.
I have to remember like mine and then everybody I'm playing as well. I have to like in my head I have to be like they have an
Uh,
S, they have a so it's like it would just be more helpful to have that when you play just to keep track. But
yeah, yeah, that's why I asked TKY to make me a skate counter.
hmm,
Uh, where like it's basically a curb with 5 holes or 5 indents and the letters under each indent. And then we put like small objects like a wheel, like something like
Okay.
that for each person. And then you can track multiple people with that.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
yeah.
But I also don't have too many opportunities to use that because it's at my house, and here
Mhm.
it's mostly one other person if we even fingerboard here, because like like I said before, since we have the shop so close, like riding one park here when you can ride a lot of
Yeah.
parks at the shop
Paradise.
with like
Yeah.
as many people as there happen to be that day,
Hmm.
it most of the time wins.
Yeah. No, I could imagine if I had a
Yeah.
shot right down the way, I would definitely be there every day. But
So, when did you start going to events or fingerboard with other people? Like, do
I
you
went.
remember your first event?
Yeah, I my first event was Rendezvous 28, which was in the fall of
2018?
2018. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I went with some the dudes I was living with at the time. They didn't really fingerboard. They all got fingerboards. They saw me doing it. They thought it was cool. All three of them bought $160 setups without even. I was like, "Where do you guys have the money to do this?" And none of them
Okay.
fingerboard anymore. I'm like, "Why did you do that?" But whatever.
Yeah,
So I
at the Ozzy shop we have like levels of setups,
yeah, I
and
know. I was like,
for
get like a
people who want to try it out, it's like 25 bucks or something.
yeah, like get a broken knuckle or like a Bali or something. You know, like they're
Yeah.
still good. They're just like less. They're more inexpensive.
Yeah.
Um, but the yeah. So the first event I went to was Rendezvous 28. And do you know David Smith Airflow Rails
Oh
at
yeah,
all?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so he was in the parking lot and I recognized him. So I like went up and I was like, "Hey, I'm Evan. Nice to meet you." Blah blah. Blah. And we were talking. Turns out he lives 7 minutes from where I live, right down the street. And I met him 7 hours away from here. So I was like, so that was awesome. So yeah, we started hanging out after that, and then that's basically how I was able to like how I'm able to go to Mike's every year is just because I know him. So it's like
Mm.
since then I try not to miss a rendezvous. I haven't since then. We were supposed to have one in May, but because of
Yeah,
it, we had to cancel it.
yeah,
But yeah, and then so now I'm starting. I really thought Rendezvous was the only one, and now I'm realizing that there are events everywhere. So I went to the Zoo Crew Eastern Exposure 2
hmm,
yesterday. That was so much fun. Murr's the man, and just it was awesome. And then there's the Pizza Shop Showdown soon. Another friend that I have on Instagram is throwing one in August. So like if it's within a few hours, I like to try to get there. I have a car, so
yeah,
like it's easy to like travel and get to these events and stuff. But yeah, 28 was my first event because I didn't really know that there was even that big of a community. I didn't have like I started my fingerboard Instagram that the day of Rendezvous 28.
mm,
Um, so like if I made friends, I could get their like info and stuff like that. And then from there, I just was like, oh my gosh, there's this huge community of people doing this. And so yeah, Instagram really changed how I fingerboarded.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it also changed how I fingerboarded because I never was interested in getting an Instagram account.
Hmm.
And then when I started hanging out at the shop and getting back into fingerboarding after a long break, like then after a while I created an account just for fingerboarding, and it's like 80% of what I use Instagram for.
Yeah.
I
Oh, I don't. I can't. The only time I go on my normal Instagram is to like get the notification bubble to go away, and then I go back
Yeah.
to my like. I haven't been on my normal Instagram in months.
Yeah, my
It's
fingerboard Instagram is my normal Instagram.
not really.
And yeah, and I did make a second one, but that's just for a different obscure hobby that I have.
Hmm.
So yeah, it like I have the switchcraft account, my personal account, and then and the LARP account. But like
Gotcha.
yeah, I don't use it like most people would use Instagram, I think.
But that's yeah, and that's what's so cool about Instagram is just like finding the community
Yeah, yeah,
because a lot of people fingerboard, but we're really spread out. So being able to get in contact with each other and meet new people, and like I literally sleeping on my couch right now is a buddy that I've known for like 2 years, and I met him 2 days ago. Just because it's like we've been talking about fingerboarding forever, but like he
uh,
lives far away, so we never hung out. But then he wanted to come to the event, so he took the train over here, and then we drove down yesterday. But
that's
like,
cool.
and that's what's so, I mean, like, you're in Germany, right?
Yeah,
And I'm in America, but like we're friends and we're talking, and it's like I don't know any other area of my life where that would be possible. Like I have
yeah,
friends in
same.
so many different time zones and like different cultures, and it's like I love that so much about fingerboarding, and that's why I really appreciate being able to have like Instagram and stuff and being able to meet people, because I don't know what other facet of my life would have me doing this,
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to
When
people on
like
the other side of the world.
way back when we just had the forums and stuff, like I lived somewhere where no other fingerboarders lived like 1.5 hours or 2 hours like close, and I
Hmm.
didn't have a car back then because I was like 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
In Germany, we can only drive after 18, so
Oh, okay. I did not know
was
that.
yeah, you can get your driver's license when you're 18,
Okay.
and I didn't get mine until I was 19. So yeah,
Gotcha.
and like I would spend a lot of time in all of the forums, and I like when I went to my first event, I already knew people from all over Germany and neighboring countries, and it like it didn't matter if I told anyone that I would be at this event or that event. I still knew if I go there, I meet Fabian, Schreiter, or like people that I knew and hang out with,
Yeah.
and that's something that I think fingerboarding is like quite cool. That we are usually quite welcoming to other people who fingerboard, and like I always tell people if you're at the shop, try to get talking to the locals because like some of the times when people are there, like we're not sure if they even speak English or because people come there from all around or if they want to be left alone. But yeah.
That's the craziest. I have met so many people that we do not speak the same verbal language, but we both know the fingerboard language. And
Mm,
I can play games of skate with people, and we're like, Vario,
yeah.
Hio, kickflip, U of S, like all this
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like, you can talk to pretty much anybody who speaks any language as long as they fingerboard, which I think is cool. But I wanted to ask, Ken, in Germany, isn't the drinking age 16, or am I wrong
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
So
Drinking is 16.
you can drink at 16, but you can't drive till you're
Yeah,
18.
because with alcohol you can only kill yourself, and with a car you can kill others.
Exactly. Because
Yeah,
for us,
that's the
we can
reasoning.
we can drive at 16, but we can't drink till we're 21.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah, and
different,
you're allowed to go into the military and stuff like that before, and
before you
like
can drink a beer.
yeah, and in Germany, 18 is the the age for like after 18 you can basically do anything. I
Hmm.
think gambling for a weird reason is only a 21, but that's I think the
Okay.
only thing that has a different age limit than 16 or 18 because like hard alcohol like vodka and stuff like that you can all only buy after once you're 18,
Oh,
but
okay.
beer and wine you can buy and drink when you're 16.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's one rule. Not to talk about laws or anything, but
Yeah.
like in America, it's like wow, 21. That's
Yeah.
and most.
It's
I don't know any. I don't seriously don't think I know anybody in my age group who didn't drink until they were 21. Like I most people that I know start drinking when they're like 17 or 18.
I mean,
So
I
it's like why?
in my generation, I probably didn't know anyone who wasn't drinking before they were 16.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
like I had
it's
my first sip of alcohol probably with 14,
mhm.
definitely 15, but yeah,
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's
yeah.
people making all the decisions. I don't know. But yeah, no, that's crazy when you said 18 for the car. I did not know that. But
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, back to fingerboarding. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's take a bit break from the normal conversation, and I thought I would hit you with a few rapid fire questions.
Sure.
And so let's just jump into that. So, what's your favorite wheel?
G4s. Honestly, that's the only wheel I've ever owned.
Favorite deck or shape? Or anything?
My favorite deck I've ever ridden for the shape is the net 32.5 millimeter nesting unique I ride. My favorite graphic is the Healer and Voyage Berlinwood.
Which one was that?
It's upstairs.
I'll look it up later.
I'll send you a picture of it when we're done. Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite trick on flat?
Tray flip.
Favorite trick on an obstacle?
I love doing a crooked grind over to back lip and then land on a rail. I love that trick.
A favorite music song right now?
Right now, Circles by Post Malone. I love that song. But ever is Night Moves by Bob Seger. That is my favorite song ever. I don't know if you...
Don't know either.
I will send you a link. You don't know Circles by Post Malone?
No,
He's huge over here. I don't know.
Yeah, I know who he is, but...
I'll send you a link.
Don't think I ever heard a song of his.
Yeah, I'll send you a link. Those are both two of my favorite songs.
For some reason, I know that he used to be called Freebones.
Really?
But I don't know. Don't ask me why I know that and why I don't know a single song of his.
Yeah, he used to be in like screamo bands and stuff. But anyway, not.
Yeah. Favorite obstacle?
The Big Mini. I love that. Does that count as an obstacle?
Yes.
Okay.
It definitely does.
That was like 12 years in the making trying to get that. Just there were so many active tries to like get it, but it's just so expensive to ship. So the stars aligned and I was able to get it, but
it's so much fun.
It's awesome.
Outdoor or indoor fingerboarding?
Indoor fingerboarding. I never fingerboard outside.
What do you do for a living or want to do for a living?
I think after I'm at college right now, and after that I want to get into woodworking, like making furniture and stuff.
Yeah.
But I used to do photography professionally. I did that for a number of years. So when I graduate, if I'm not really looking to do woodworking just yet, there's a lot of opportunities to do photo editing and stuff.
Yeah.
So either of those two. But right now I want a tobacco store.
And when you do woodworking, it probably helps to be able to get nice photos of it.
Yeah, that's very true. So
concrete or wood ramps?
Wood.
A switch or regular? I think I know that one.
Yeah. I like watching Switch, but doing it's regular for sure.
Hobbies outside of fingerboarding?
Right now, seriously, nothing. It is all I do when I'm not working is working on my YouTube channel. But
yeah, maybe YouTube does count as a hobby on its own.
But typically, I had photography for a while. I don't really do it as much anymore since I stopped doing it professionally. But hi-fi audio, like records and cassettes and little reel and that stuff. I have like a whole setup. I really like doing that. And then skateboarding.
Sounds expensive.
It is. It was such a money suck for so long. I don't really buy much anymore, but yeah, there was a time where I was like, any extra money I had was going to that. Like I was obsessed. There's this one thing, a hair is just annoying.
I mean, I have a solution for that.
Oh, right.
Heel flip or kick flip?
Kick flip.
Favorite fingerboarder?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, Ryan Bernier, Loft. He's one of the best.
He is quite cool, yeah.
And he's been around forever, and he just came on my radar recently. What is happening? I watched one of his parts, and I was like, he is so freaking good.
Yeah,
So probably
his flat face part was my favorite on the whole video.
oh my gosh, when he did that, when he bailed the trick and then he stood and his board,
Yeah.
that must have taken so long. He's awesome. But yeah,
Favorite food right now?
burritos or tacos, they're like the same basically.
Loose or tight trucks?
I have to be this guy. I ride them in the middle. They're not super tight, they're not super loose.
Last trick you learned?
I would say nollie tray flips. I'm getting more consistently nollie and switch tray
Nice.
flips.
Nice. Most hated trick? I,
Oh, nollie heels, obviously.
yeah,
I have done
I would have
one.
guessed that.
It was an accident. Those dudes are going so easy, just flick your finger. No, that's too hard.
Favorite beer?
Oh my gosh, that's like asking my favorite Beatle. I don't. Right
That's
now,
easy. Ringo Starr.
I'm a George guy. I like George, but they're all good. I don't like Lennon as much. He's probably my least favorite Beatle, but um, there's this brewery or there's this beer called Victory, and they make this sour IPA. It's called Sour Monkey. And then that's probably like my favorite like craft beer, but I really like Pabst Blue Ribbon. I don't know if you've ever had.
No.
Because Germany has, I feel like Germany and America have a lot of like beers that are just exclusive to them. So I don't know if we
Yeah.
could have a
Yeah.
conversation about beer, but there is what isn't, I feel like there's a really popular German beer in America.
Beck's.
What was it?
Beck's.
Yeah, I have had Beck's. Beck's is really good. But
Yeah, like in Germany, like I can't remember the last time I had a Beck's. Like I avoided like the plague.
mhm.
It's like in Germany, it's the one of the least popular beers, I would say, because it just doesn't take like anything, taste
Yeah.
like anything, and that's why it sells. Because like it doesn't have like very specific taste, so everyone can drink it.
I
Yeah.
also I realize I think I want to change my answer. And I know that this is bad because I know that you're probably really partial to German beer, but I love Guinness.
I
I
mean, Guinness is okay. Like,
I
yeah.
heard it's better over there. Like over here, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, it's okay. What's your dream sponsors?
dream sponsors.
Yeah, sir.
I gotta be I mean, obviously Black River comes to mind. I feel like everybody would say that, but I gotta be honest with when it comes to sponsorship and like with like I've been gaining a lot of traction recently. So I have had a lot of like companies asking me if I want to like ride or represent. And like I keep giving the same response where I I don't want to ride for a company unless I am riding with like a team of people that I genuinely enjoy, like watching their content, like they're my friends, you know, like
Mhm.
I think that in skateboarding you can make a living off of your sponsorship, so you kind of got to
Yeah.
look at it from a business approach. But like with fingerboarding, I don't ever see making money off of it, so like I'm not going to ride for a company just to be sponsored. Like if I'm going to
Yeah.
do it, I want to do it
Same.
because I truly genuinely love the company and the people that are there. But yeah, no, they're definitely like I'm sure if the timing was right and stuff with different companies and whatnot. But yeah, right now I don't know. I'm just not actively looking to be
Yeah.
sponsored. If
Yeah.
something like that,
And I think that's the correct way to look at it, because sponsorship in fingerboarding doesn't really matter too much.
hmm
And like I would only want to be sponsored by a company that I fully back. That's why I'm on the Five Luck team. But yeah, it's yeah, just doing it because you get a free board every once in a while seems a bit pointless.
yeah, honest a little public service. If I don't know you personally, I'm not gonna ride for your team. So
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
ask me because I'm not interested. But yeah, no, it's I think there's a lot of good that comes from sponsorships, and I love seeing like when dudes get their pro model and they're like, so I was hanging out. I
Mhm.
don't know if you follow Dankman of Dank Woods
Yeah,
on Instagram.
yeah, yeah.
We were hanging out the day he went pro and he had his deck and he was just like so excited
I
and
can imagine.
Camel Pro's team is so cool though, you know, like Ben Dulac and
Yeah,
so um that was really cool and I'm glad for him and stuff, but it's just like in my own personal life right now, I'm not really that's
yeah,
not something I'm actively looking for. So
yeah. I'm gonna keep something in mind for a few seconds. Favorite Instagram follow? Like, what is the one account you follow that you enjoy seeing new content from the most,
um
or you would recommend to people?
oh, you know what? Actually, I do have one. I don't want to get his username wrong. Well, first of all, Annie Yan obviously
Hmm.
is one of, if not my best Instagram or best friend in fingerboarding. But there's this dude. It is Dams underscore FB.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He is
Um,
he puts out like first of all he's very talented. Second of all he has an amazing part. Third of all he has been filming just like really creative, progressive. Like I find if I don't really put posts on my stories, but I would say
yeah,
50% of the ones
same.
I do are from him. Like so definitely give him a follow. Dams underscore FB. He's awesome. I met him in a Zoom call like a
Yeah, I
couple
think
months
I
ago.
met him in a Zoom call as well.
Yeah, he's really cool. So
And last question, what's your favorite overall company in fingerboarding?
ever flatface. I really I've met Mike. He's a really awesome guy. He's like done so much for the community over here. uh,
Mm.
but then I also would like to say like the Aussie Berlin store like that you've been talking about, like it Timo is so cool, and like just all the stuff that he does for the community, and like
Yeah,
just like I'm not gonna say like a hype company. Oh, I love their products, or whatever. It's just like people who do and give back to the community. Like
yeah,
Mallory Curtis from Unique, she and a lot of people did this, but I followed her specifically. Like she did a drop of decks, and then all the money went to Black Lives Matter. Right,
yeah.
like
I saw that as well.
that is so cool. You know, like doing
Yeah,
stuff to like make positive change and like like that's what I like to see. I don't like seeing like I made this rare deck and it's going to sell for $300. It's like
yeah,
that's not what fingerboarding should be about. So
yeah,
I don't really subscribe to that, and that's honestly why I don't really collect stuff, because I just use it. I use what I use to have like as like a utility to have my fingerboard. I don't need like all this different collection of
yeah.
stuff just to have,
Yeah, for me,
But
the collecting came basically as an accident because I was buying new boards all the time.
mm,
And like, I think pretty much every board that I have on like, I have a frame in my other room
mm,
that has like around, I think 35 decks, I think it
okay,
fits. And I have like one spot left. So yeah, I have a lot of used decks. And I think every one of the decks that is on there has grip tape on it. Like
yeah,
there's like, and the ones that don't, like I put a few 5 luck spare decks on there that I plan on riding once my other wear out or I'm sick of them or whatever. But
yeah,
yeah, I'd say pretty much everything I just have because I wanted to have it and rode it. Like I never sold a board and I like trading boards, but I don't like selling parts because
hmm
yeah,
No, and I should say, like, collecting decks is really sick, and I've seen some like super awesome collections. I just personally don't really
yeah,
do it,
yeah,
but I think I have like 8 decks now, and I'm gonna keep growing that collection. But yeah, it's not really about the company per se. Like, I like seeing the cool graphics and stuff.
mm,
Uh, so yeah, that's pretty much what I how
yeah.
I
The
feel on that one.
yeah
But
the one board that I didn't set up and don't plan on setting up is a 5 luck board that has the 5 luck and Aussie Berlin a co-op uh, uh, graphic. Because yeah, that's like near and dear to my heart. So that one I will keep pristine forever.
Yeah, there. Yeah, I have a
Yeah,
couple decks that I'm never gonna set up
yeah.
just because I love the graphic. But
But you mentioned Ben before, and that's actually how I found out about you because I saw your collaboration on his YouTube channel a while back.
oh, the game
And
Escape.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that was the first time I saw you on YouTube, and that's how I then followed you.
Oh
So
wow.
so yeah, let's start a bit back. You said I think earlier that you decided to start YouTube during the quarantine.
Hmm.
Um, because like for me, like I said earlier, you came basically out of nowhere because
Hmm.
I didn't know of you, and I was like, who's this dude making cool videos? And
Hmm.
that's partially the reason why I wanted to interview you.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
so how did it come about that you started your channel?
I I had a channel in 2014 for like 2 months. And then I started a different YouTube channel about photography and I deleted all those videos because I didn't want anybody to find that. Whatever. If anybody knows, I'm not going to say it. If anybody knows my original channel, hit me up. I want to know if anybody remembers that. But so yeah, that. And then since then, I've wanted to start a legitimate fingerboard channel for like years. Because it's like
Same.
it's all I do, you know. So I really wanted to do it, and I love seeing other people's content. And then um, what I when I got into quarantine, I was doing a lot of projects and I was like doing some more like woodworking fingerboard projects. And I was like, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, try to set yourself apart from other people and do something different. So it's not the same. And for me, I liked like the style of video that I make with like the voiceovers and stuff. I those definitely exist in fingerboarding, but like not consistently. And I have follow a lot of YouTubers who kind of have that same style. And I was like, I want to bring that to fingerboarding because I know how to do that. That's what I'm good at video wise. So that was like the um, kicker when I decided that that was going to be how I did it. And then from there, I just started brainstorming video ideas and then just started making them. And yeah, like literally that was it. I just 2 videos a week and I stuck to it and I love doing it and I want to keep doing it as long as I can.
2 videos seems like a tough schedule. Like
Yeah. No,
props for keeping that.
well, like, okay, so I didn't upload yesterday. I occasionally I will miss an upload. I'm trying to get better at it, but it's one of those things. It's like if I'm not willing to put in the work, then it's not worth doing, you know, because it's like you're not going to
Mm,
be like there's exceptions, but for the most part, like you're not going to be handed any sort of success on YouTube. And I'm not looking for success. I'm just looking to share my stories. But like the you have to put in work in order to get something out of it. And so that's what I've recognized. And so it's kind of grueling. I'm going to go to 3 uploads soon, but I'm going to do like, I'm going to call it Minute Mondays, just 1 minute on Monday. And those are
mm,
videos that I could probably bang out like 4 in a day, like shoot them in a
yeah.
day, edit them another day, and then just have them scheduled on YouTube so that way it's not like I'm shooting 3 videos a week. I'm still shooting 2, but one of the
Yeah.
days of the month I'm going to commit to shooting 4 really small videos. So
Yeah. Yeah, what I really enjoyed about your content and specifically about the park build that we see behind you, um, like I follow a lot of like woodworking YouTubers
mhm.
and in general making YouTubers. So I really enjoyed that style of content with fingerboarding, like you said, the voiceover, the planning, like it, I it for me it was like a really well executed video and was
Thank you.
like one of the first videos I saw. Yeah, after the Game of Skate. Don't know if that lines up time wise, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I think the Gamer Skate was like the week before I built the
Yeah,
park.
that could work, something like that.
Yeah, I the park was an accident. I meant to just build the stair set and the pyramid, no rail, no anything, just like it was supposed to be an afternoon project. I did it, and I didn't glue anything together, and I was assembling it, and I was like fingerboarding on it, and like as I was riding away from the stairs, I was like, oh, if I just built like I had my quarter pipe, and I was like, if I just put it on wood and I just built a quarter pipe, so then it was just going to be that and the quarter pipe, but then like the flow would be weird, and then it just, oh my gosh, it exploded, and my parents were like, where are you going to put this? Because it was in the garage for a little bit, but yeah, I I have a place now and a place to have it, but then you know, come when my lease is up next June, if I am moving into a place without space, I'll sell it. But you know, I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it, and if I do have to sell it, I would just be happy in the fact that somebody else would get it and get to like share it with their friends and progress on it, and like that's all I ever want, you know. So I wouldn't be heartbroken over it, but
I really like the layout of your park because with a lot of like there's been build videos on YouTube on the in the past for fingerboard parks, and I feel like most of those parks weren't parks that I would want to ride because a lot of them were like really cramped, and you had like sorry for being European, had like 15 centimeters of landing, like this much.
Yeah, that's 6 inches, I'm pretty sure, for us.
Yeah.
Why? Whole separate rant. I don't know why we're not on the metric system over here, but that's a whole. It's the metric system is so much better.
I actually have gotten a bit used to inches right now because I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
It's all on a 1 inch grid there.
Gotcha.
And I mean, you could do 2.5 centimeters, which is like off like 5 millimeters or something like that. But it's just like I just bought a imperial ruler, and because I built a lot of terrain for that.
Gotcha.
Because I enjoy building stuff, no matter if it's fingerboarding related or anything. So
it's I don't know. I like we have to learn math with the imperial. But it's like, just like so unnecessarily
like the use of fractions is like I would never be able to do that while woodworking, because when I woodwork, I think about like order of operations and if my my dimensions are right, and I don't want to think about how to write them down or.
No, absolutely. It's confusing for no reason, but I don't know. I still was able to make the park with it, so
yeah. I mean, probably just takes a bit longer to figure out. And so, is there like to do woodworking in the US? Do you have to do like some sort of education for that, or could you just start a business on your own technically?
Both options are good. I think if you want to work as a carpenter, like for a company, you're going to need an education in it. It's a 2-year associate's degree in America, and then basically the schools, at least where I'm from, if you go for like a trade like carpentry or like metalworking, they have like a 99% placement rate to where 99% of the students will have a job lined up. So like they graduate and the next day they can start a job, you know, and be making really good money. And that's an option that I'm going to look into after I graduate from my university. But the other option is, I mean, like you can be like a talented woodworker and just like start your own business, and you don't need any education as long as you're, you know, making good products.
That's absolutely not the case in Germany.
No,
but
what is it?
Yeah, you need like to do anything. You need a 3-year. It's like you work somewhere and you go to school for it. So it's like we call it Ausbildung. It's like it's like an apprenticeship.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And you do that for 3 years, then you graduate, then you would be able to work as a woodworker somewhere. But to do your own business, you would need to do basically a master's in your, like not master's in the sense of university. It's called a master. It's like basically another 3 years of training and stuff like that. and
Okay.
then you can do your own. Because before that, like when you do something, it needs to be certified and stuff like that. So yeah, but
Wow.
I think we're getting a bit off track.
No, and
Yeah,
there is like options for that as well, but like for like friends that I have that have done it, like it was just
yeah,
2 years and then, which,
yeah,
yeah, I didn't know that.
yeah.
And I'm learning so much about German culture today.
But yeah, but I really enjoy mixing woodworking with fingerboarding. Do you have plans for creating something else beside your park, or
It's a secret right now, but I have
I
a,
I
I
look
know
forward to the video.
I don't really have a following, but I still keep, I'm like, oh, secret
Yeah,
project, like try to build some hype around it. But
yeah.
yeah, there's a big, I have a project for, I have a project I'm working on something to get Annie Yan back for sending me the decks. Like I have something that
Mm,
I'm gonna send her, which is taking precedent right now just because I want to get that done. But then after that, I have something that I've been working on for a while that I'm really excited to start building. But
nice.
it's gonna be an undertaking. It's gonna involve woodworking. It's fingerboard related, obviously, but it's gonna involve
Yeah,
woodworking techniques that I've never even attempted before. So like I'm kind
yeah.
of just like gonna invest money in it and hope it works.
I mean, that's how I built my park because I
Mhm.
used material that I never used before, and I'm gonna knock the park down in a few months, I think, and then rebuild something
Yeah.
new. And probably the next thing I will build out of something completely different. So yeah,
Mhm.
I totally get the just buying materials you need and just start and see where you end up.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was really fortunate. Like I was able to build my park during the lockdown because I had pretty much everything already. The only thing I was missing was the metal, and I just bought
Yeah.
that online, you know? So
Yeah.
like I didn't have to like go out to the hardware store and like and which was really cool. So I didn't really spend that much money on it, you
Yeah.
know? But um yeah, I don't know exactly where I was going with that, but just felt it was important to say.
Yeah. Um, yeah, when you fingerboard with other people at booths and stuff like that, do you like? No, I forgot my question. Okay, I've realized I just forgot where I was going, so let's abandon that. Yeah, I seem to have some memory issues once in a while.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yes.
when I fingerboard it at VU, I don't attempt tricks really. I
Mm,
just do like my stock three tricks. I don't know. That's kind of where my mind went when you
ah,
started saying
I know.
that.
Now I remembered what I was going to ask. I want to ask uh, if you go there to basically fingerboard all the parks, or do you try to meet as many people as
Meet
possible?
meet the people. If it wasn't for, well, the parks are cool, and I think that most people who have been to multiple rendezvous will reiterate like it. The first time you go to rendezvous, like you do not stop fingerboarding. It is paradise. It's Mecca. It's amazing. But like the second, the third time, you start realizing like all the friends I made from the previous rendezvous are here, and I only get to see them like once or twice a year. So rendezvous really just becomes about, you know, what rendezvous coming together,
Yeah.
meeting your friends and having those relationships to the point where it's like I would go up to Massachusetts and not fingerboard. I would just go up to see all the friends that I've
Mm,
made and that. I think the last rendezvous I spent like three, like it's like 6 hours. I think I spent 3 of the 6 hours like outside in the parking lot drinking beer, hanging out with friends,
yeah.
like because it's like quieter, it's not as hot. Like it's just like, yeah, the fingerboarding aspect of it is really awesome and fun. And I love meeting people and seeing people progress in the contests and all that. And that's awesome. But also just like hanging out with people that I never get to see.
Yeah.
I got to shout out, my gosh, his name's slipping me right now, but he gives me beer every year. I think it's Rufian25 is his username. His name is slipping me though. I have to, regardless. But
Yeah.
yeah, he gives me beer every year. in the parking lot. I'll hit you back this year if you're listening to this.
I mean, that's a cool tradition, I think.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think when you're at a fingerboard event, like a lot of people worry about like they want to feel get something on film or do good in the contest, but if there is a contest, but I feel like just try to enjoy it. Like
Oh yeah,
just
definitely.
it's such a rare occasion. Like even for me who like I can basically fingerboard with 5 other people every day of the week I would want to if I would hit them up
Hmm.
or something like that. But uh, an event is such a special occasion because I meet people from like I met Phil twice from Camel Pro. I
Okay.
met multiple people from Canada, from the States. Like I met the Sorry people twice, and like meeting people from, like you said earlier, fingerboarding brings us basically all together and
Mhm.
helps us meet people that we otherwise would have never met.
Gotcha.
And I mean, we would have never talked if it weren't for fingerboarding.
No,
And
yeah, that's what's so cool about it.
yeah, and I'm sitting here at the like early evening of a day, and you're sitting at the other half of the
Yeah,
world
I
in the
woke up
morning.
like 30
Yeah,
minutes before the interview.
yeah,
And it's just, yeah, and like I was saying earlier, like that's what's just so awesome about fingerboarding is like, like I have friends in the Philippines,
yeah,
like I have friends in China, I have friends in all over Europe. I mean, and then I through fingerboarding, I met somebody who lives 7 minutes down the street,
yeah.
like who I would have never met if it wasn't for the hobby. So that's what I love so much about it, and that's why I never want to stop fingerboarding.
Yeah.
Like as silly of a hobby as it is like
Yeah,
changed my life.
yeah, and I mean, there's been like statistics and stuff that uh, people in their early 20s nowadays really struggle to find friends and find hobbies.
Mhm.
And with fingerboarding and for me with Magic the Gathering, but since which I've been playing since I was like 11, like those two hobbies are what makes up most of my friend groups. Like I
Mhm.
think here in Berlin, I probably I'm not friends with people I met somewhere else. Like all of
Mhm.
my friends come either from playing Magic or from fingerboarding. And
Yeah, and
yeah,
that's what's just like so cool about it. And yeah, I'm a little envious that you get to have like the shop and that community over
and
there
I mean
because
I'm envious that you get to go to booths and stuff. So it's the same for everyone.
yeah.
But
No, but
I do recognize that I'm quite fortunate to have something like that close.
yeah, I once all the COVID-19 stuff is like once we have a vaccine and we can travel again and stuff, I'm gonna
Mm,
start actively planning a trip to go out to hopefully if they do another Fast Fingers event, that would be like
yeah.
ideal because then I could do that and then you know, hopefully get up to like the shop and just
Mm,
experience Germany because
yeah.
I mean, I think every fingerboarder has like this weird obsession with Germany. Like you're
Yeah,
like because
because
it's like, well, sorry, I love fingerboarding and stuff, but like just knowing about like stuff I've learned in like my German class and like that. Also, I took German. I can't speak a word, so don't even try me. But just like the culture is awesome, and also I love
yeah,
beer. Like I don't think I would be drinking beer the whole time. Like it wouldn't be
yeah,
good. There's just so much to do. And
yeah,
so, yeah, I definitely plan and look forward to going.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I'm really I'm not quite sure what the contest scene will look like next year because, like a few years ago, Ozzy and Black River came to the agreement that they do it alternating.
okay.
So every 2 years is Fast Fingers, every 2 years is an Ozzy contest,
Okay.
and Ozzy is not happening this year.
Hmm.
So I have no idea if they would do the Aussie number 11 next year or TKY talked about doing like a small, basically locals only contest with like barbecue and stuff and do
Okay.
that as a contest. Uh, I I have no idea how how it will look, and also who knows when all this is over. And
Yeah. No,
yeah,
there's a lot of question marks, but I'm hopeful. I think that
yeah,
things will work out and we'll be able to
yeah. But
hang out.
I mean, it's cool that you took the lockdown and created and used the time to create something and to
I would have went crazy if I
venture in
did.
something new.
I don't like, I mean, I guess if I didn't have fingerboarding, I would have just found something else to
Yeah,
create. But like, I have always just like wanted to build and create and make and like, so the fingerboarding has just been the perfect outlet and starting the YouTube and the
yeah,
parks, like everything just kind of came together at once. And I'm really glad that I had it for COVID because if I didn't,
yeah,
I would,
yeah. Since lockdown started, I built like two pieces of furniture. Like one is a workbench and the other one is like a table
yeah.
thingy. And I built so much Dungeons and Dragons terrain, and yeah, and did a bit of sewing, and like yeah, like I basically did all my hobbies the whole time instead of meeting anyone. Yeah.
No, and that's what, yeah, that's oh my gosh, I completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. That's no, but yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
To keep yourself occupied with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I had a point. I'll let you know if I think about it again. I forget what it was. But yeah. But
Yeah. But I if you don't have anything else, I would take this chance to end the interview itself,
okay.
because yeah, I got through all the things I wanted to ask you, and yeah, I feel like I now know a bit more about you, and
Yeah.
I hope that people listening feel the same, and definitely follow him on YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on. I was still when I got your DM, I was saying I was like, is she joking? Like I just this was just such a cool um uh like experience and I don't know, I'm really glad that I was able to do it. So
Cool. So, yeah. So, thanks everyone for listening, and thank you for doing that. And yeah, stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.